Good morning everyone, Tracy from the Wildlife Garden. I thought I'd catch up with you all. It's been quite a while. We've had a lot of work going on in the house and other things happening, so I'm a bit behind on videoing the garden, but it's blooming lovely at the moment. It's very lush out there, and yesterday I began my first tidy up of the year. I say tidy up, all I did was deadhead all the stems that were left from the flowers over summer last year. So not a real tidy up as such, but come and have a look. Let's see what's going on outside. Well, first of all, it's very bare out here due to us having scaffolding still up. The work has just finished on the roof and we're just waiting for the scaffolding to come down now. Granddaughter's enjoyed it though because she's been playing hopscotch outside. So all the furniture's still stored by the shed. We'll go up and have a look. As you can see from the path, it's very green out here now. It's becoming that sort of May being the best month in a garden, I always find. Stems are strong on the flowers, they don't collapse, and everything seems to be at its peak May to early June. So yeah, let's have a look. I think everything's early this year. I've found plants that have come up a lot earlier than last year. But it's been, as you all know, such a wet, cold winter. Not bitterly cold, we haven't had any frosts really. Very few frosts, and but the rain, as everyone knows, has been horrendous. So we'll have a stroll up the garden and see. So down here, I'm just starting to organise this pot down here. It's full of, it just needs a good tidy up. It's got herb robert in it. There's a weed there, I'm not sure, or a wildflower there that I'm not sure of, and a little bit of I'm not sure what that is actually. Does that come up itself? It's interesting when you don't do anything for a while. I'm not sure what that is. It could be snapdragon actually. I've also got this appearing in the garden. I'm waiting for this to flower so I can see what it is. I've got in my head it's something I know, but I can't remember the name of. So yeah, dandelions are out, and herb robert everywhere. Mexican fleabane. It's all looking very, very green and lovely. First plant to hit you now, as the hellebores are just going over here. I tell you what's lovely. This is lovely. The weather. There's a bit of bindweed coming up in here, which I do control. I allow it to grow up the fence, but here I do control it, and obviously all I do is hand pull where I don't want it to grow. It's so easy. But up the fence it can grow. So there you go. So easy to control. I know some people think it becomes, takes over the garden, but I don't find that. Just keep pulling where you don't want it. Bees absolutely love the open cup flower, but this is honesty. It's a white honesty. I'm not sure it's attractive to insects. I don't seem to see anything on it, but it looks very pretty. This one certainly is attractive to insects, and the orange-tipped butterfly, the caterpillar, will feed on this plant if there's nothing else. It will use it as a host plant for its caterpillars, but up the top of the garden I've got the better plant for it. Let's carry on, I'll show you that when we get there. This is wild strawberry. I'm going to have a few strawberries on there. It amazes me where dandelions get. Look, they're all coming out this strawberry pot. I need to, this is changing from a strawberry pot to a wildflower pot. That's the blue, I forgot the name of it, not dead nettle, blue, it says blue bellflower on it, the bellflower, that's it, the bellflower. So that'll be pretty in the pot. We get the solitary bees sleeping in that one. alliums are just starting to bud up. And in this hanging basket we've got clover, red clover. So yeah, I've been doing a little bit of seeds, as you know. I did my sweet peas and I've chopped those back. They're struggling a little bit, but I haven't been leaving them out. But I can see new shoots starting to appear. I think it's this compost really. I don't think there's enough feed in it. I'm going to give them a feed. These are miniature roses. When I had shingles last year, people bought me a display of miniature roses, and I just put them in the pots outside. I've repotted them yesterday because they've all come back. So see if we can get some flowers on those. They'll look nice inside if they begin to flower. Spanish bluebells beginning to come up. The bees do like them. This is this here I need to cut. That's lilac. Those tall branches there are lilac. The lilac tree just send up lots of suckers. These are all suckers from the lilac tree. This is here. So I tend to just chop the top off them to keep it as a sort of hedge. But I'll remove the ones down there. Step back a bit. My the flower buds on the blueberry are doing really well. Lots of buds there on the blueberry. Whether it'll get pollinated, because there's not many bees about in the temperature at the moment. There's definitely no bees in the garden. Lots of solitary bees are popping up now. We've had hairy-footed flower bees. We managed to film them mating yesterday in the garden, but not many bumblebees. I saw a female carder bumblebee yesterday, and we had a large buff-tail bumblebee visit me in the shed while I was doing the seedlings yesterday. So in this border, large border, all I did was deadhead everything. I haven't planted anything. This is all just coming back from last year. So an abundance of plants. Mostly geranium and foxglove, fennel. Oh, there's a hairy-footed flower bee. She's out in the cold. There was a female then flying around me. The female is black, very dark. It looks black, and the male is sort of a gingery colour with a white face. You can't miss them in the garden. They zip about really crazy. Obviously, I cut back the roses, but this is all geranium. It's taking over, really. Could probably do with taking some of that and moving it around the garden. Lovely crop of dandelions just there, all closed up because it's still cool. It's about 8 o'clock this morning, Saturday morning. More white honesty. I cut the buddleia down. I haven't cut my old one down because it's struggling so much. I think I'm going to leave that one this year, but this one I cut back. This is a white one, but the bees and butterflies do like that. The grass is very long. Obviously we had lots of crocuses in the lawn this year, so I can't cut it back for that reason, and I do leave it as long as I can. I do find, because my grass is a lush grass, it can flop over, but I leave it till as long as I can, really. Last year I think I left it, I'm trying to think, till September I think I left it. But there are things coming up in the grass. We've got we've got a little bunch of buttercup. This is sweet Sicily here. I think that's bed straw, ladies' bed straw. So yeah, there are wild plants coming up in here. We've got woodhavens, geranium, sticky willy. This is the sticky willy here. more sticky willy, quite a bit of sticky willy coming up in it this year. Yep, and ground ivy. The bees do feed on this a lot. It's a lovely, lovely little flower. We've got the bluebell flower, dead nettle bell flower, more sticky willy. So the grass is being taken over by plants, as I haven't cut it now for many years. More buttercup. I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure if this is wild carrot coming up. So until it flowers, I've got quite a lot of it this year. It looks like carrot. What else have we got? Got the lovely grape hyacinths. We've got the lovely, they're just sort of going over now, cowslip, some forget-me-nots, ragwort. There's quite a bit of ragwort coming up, and we had the caterpillars on it last year, so hopefully we'll have more caterpillars this year. So mine sort of doesn't become a meadow like lots of people think grasses can become. Mine becomes sort of a woodland, woodland edge grass. We've even got oxeye daisy coming up here. That's oxeye daisy. So hopefully by summer it'll look lovely. Some red campion out. Lots and lots of marjoram, absolutely adored by the bees. Foxgloves, cornflower. And again, another pot here. You won't believe it, but that's the pot where I have my hosta in, which I can just see coming up. It's very old, this hosta. I mean, this pot, it's been in that pot. It's got to be coming up to 10 years. We've got dog violet come up in it. There's lots of dog violet leaves, a dandelion. So the wildflowers do take their chances anywhere they can, and obviously I just leave them, and it doesn't affect the hosta. They'll die back by the time the hosta's out. We've got woodruff here. It's just beginning to flower. Smells lovely. Very nice smell. More sticky willy. A lot can mix the sticky willy up with woodruff. Here's sticky willy. Very similar. So, but woodruff doesn't get any taller and just has these white flowers on, whereas the sticky willy will climb all the way up this little fence here, all the way to the top and cover it. So you do have to be a bit careful with it. Lots and lots of ash seedlings. These are ash. They grow everywhere, and it seems a nightmare pulling them out because the ash die back. But they will take over the garden, and once their roots get going, it's difficult to get them out. So I sadly do have to pull them out. That's 4. I can see another one there. 5. 6. I can see another one there. 7. Another one there. 8, 9. 9 just in 10, 11, 12. I can see 12 in just that little space. 13. I can see another one in the background. So they do need pulling out because ash roots get deep very quickly. So I'll be doing that later. Over here, Igellas are coming out. Buddleia here that I've planted. Took a cutting. This was from the canal. I went along. We'd been for a walk along the canal, and this has got like a tight orange little ball. I'm not sure of the name. I'll have to look it up. But it was covered in bees, so I took a piece off it, and it's taken really well. I've got it in a pot with a saucer underneath to stop any roots disappearing into the ground, and I think when my old buddleia down the bottom has finished, this one will replace it. More white honesty, it's everywhere. A few wallflowers this year, not as many as last year. I didn't plant any, and normally they come back really well, but I don't think they've liked the rain this year. Snake's egg fritillary are just going over. But I saw a bee visiting that yesterday. But yeah, the wallflowers are struggling a little bit. That looks like hollyhocks in the background, but it's not, it's mallow. So mallow growing there. A lovely little daff here. That's a pretty one. You don't remember planting things sometimes, do you? And then they pop up. It's lovely to see. The gorgeous winter flowering clematis is putting on a lot of growth. Hopefully it'll be covered in flowers next winter, this winter. This is our hotbed, really, of Jerusalem sage. There's oxeye daisy, red campion, and it just becomes just the solitary bees just love this little section. There's a lovely big I forget the name of that geranium. It has a little purple flower on. It has got a name, I've forgotten it now. Pond is fine, full of tadpoles, but quite a bit of duckweed on there. I will take some of that off because it thickens up very quickly and it takes out all the light, and obviously there's a little lily in there, needs light, and the tadpoles need light for warmth as well as cover. They do need a bit of warmth in there. The lovely rambling rose is covered in buds again this year, absolutely laden with buds. Another lover of loved by bees, plant in the garden. Just spin you around gently. I took some of the plants out of my pond last year just due to the size of them. I just found my gardening gloves that I left out yesterday. Let's gather those up. Yeah, I took some of the plants out my pond as they were just, as you can see in this pot, you can see how much there is, and it was sort of overcrowded. I'm going to put a little bit back in, but yeah, you do have to control it. So in here I've got the marigolds and the iris, and it looks like a little bit of lilies in there too. So I've got two. This one is flag iris, the yellow flag iris, which actually it gets enormous, but flowers lovely in this pot. Does well every year. So and the frogs love these little ponds. So they're extra ponds in the garden, and the birds go down into them too. So I love these little pots in the garden. Look at all these beautiful dog violets. Aren't they lovely? Again here there was a lilac. You can see how many suckers they send up. But they're great if you just chop the tops off. You can keep it as a sort of hedge. It's protection for any mammals scurrying about in there. So they offer protection. We've got the lovely, this is the other plant I was talking about with the orange tip butterfly, the jack by the hedge. Further up the garden I've got lots in the wilderness. Great plant, the caterpillars adore it, of the orange tip butterfly, and it's one of their main food sources. So, but I would advise, it is a very vigorous wildflower, so it's worth deadheading some of it. So I tend to deadhead about 3/4 of it, and I still get lots. So yeah, just take care with it if you do get it in your garden. I mean, in the wilderness it's not a problem. It's called the wilderness for that reason. I can allow plants to just go wild up there, but I want a bit of control in my main garden. I'm not making this into a native garden. I do control it a little bit. So we've got loads of dandelions along this little border. Got the eggplant here coming up, poached eggplant. Yeah, it's doing really well. You can see how long my grass is along the edges. This is because we get speckled wood butterflies in the garden, and speckled woods lay their eggs in long grass. So leaving grass long is important. The grass is just an addition, and as I say, as you saw further down, wildflowers will move in. So I want native flowers moving in as much as possible, such as clover, like here. I've got a clover patch here and another little clover patch here. I don't get lots of clover, which is unusual, but I think sometimes when your grass is longer, different things move in, and clover tends to flower better in short grass. So it swings and roundabouts really, but yeah, I leave as you can see, the lawn is left long. You can see the new roof there, all shiny and new. So let's have a look in the wilderness. Apple trees got tiny little buds on, and the montanas just coming into flower too. It's very cool at the moment. I was surprised to see that hairy-footed flower bee. They're not usually out when it's cold. Forget-me-nots out, more Spanish bluebells pushing up, lungwort, dandelions, a big dock over the back. But I think what I'm going to have to do with the montana is that once it's finished flowering, I'm going to have to cut it down to about this height. Hope it comes back and replace this arch, because it's just not going to last another year. It's held up by bricks again at the moment. The stumps I put in are holding it, but it's just not. It's not going to last. Keep trying to support it, but it won't. It's rusted too much. Let's have a look then into the wilderness. Right, we've got buddleia first. These raspberries here are all self-seeded. I haven't planted any of these raspberries. These are all raspberry here. We've got a willow here. This is one of those. Doesn't really send out much in the way of their flowers, but looks nice, but they can get quite big, so you've got to keep on top of those, cutting it back. Then we've got the green alkanet, and yesterday I've spotted our first Scarlet Tiger moth caterpillar on here munching away, but it's cold now, so it's probably gone down. I can't see one at the moment. But yeah, this is a good food plant for the Scarlet Tiger caterpillar moth. We had them on it last year, and I spotted my first one yesterday. I took a photo of it. I'll have to put that in. I'll put the photo up of it so you know what you're looking for. Red alkanet, Jack by the hedge, some Granny's bonnet. I dead-headed the brambles yesterday, cut back all the dead on the brambles and chopped them back a little bit hard, which is what I usually do. We have the nettles coming up, and lots of sticky willy there. The nettles, some of the nettles survived the winter, but all you do is snap off the seed heads and off they go again. Loads of dandelions, long stumpy grass, some more ladies' bed straw mixed with sticky willy, hawthorn, dogwood. The elder's still staying up, still at its precarious angle. And at the top of the garden, more Jack by the hedge. This is the main section because it's a shade-loving plant. So it's absolutely thick here. I didn't plant any of this. This is what I mean. It does self-seed readily. So take care if you want it in your garden. As we go up, I planted some of the... back down a bit. Obviously you saw that I had the willow in a little pot of water, which I'm just leaving that there. It'll die back slowly. It's beginning to die back now, but some of it I have pushed into the ground and it seems to be taking. There's the leftover of the buddleia that I cut back. So lots of green alkanet. Again, that's a vigorous plant. None of this has been planted by me. This is all self-seeded. So it's great if you've got an area, a big garden that you can just not worry about too much. They're easy to pull out, but it will spread readily. And up here we've got spotted dog rose coming up, which is nice. Again, lilac spreading like crazy. And in amongst the lilac, if I can spot it, oh yeah, there's a piece. I've put a piece of willow there. There's one piece, if you can see it, and another piece of willow here, and another here. These can grow up here because you can pollard willow really well. You just cut it right to the ground and it'll come back up. So hopefully it'll do well here. Hopefully it's not too shady for it, but the idea is to sort of screen that wall there. My hazel's just budding up. This is the hazel that I brought from my mum's house. The squirrels used to plant the nuts readily, and Mum would have, as I have ash trees popping up, Mum would have hazel popping up everywhere, and I brought one back. And yeah, it's doing really well there. So that's got to be about 12 years old now. I haven't pollarded it, but which again, hazel you can pollard really easily, but I don't pollard it. Just hopefully it'll provide squirrel food eventually. Down by the dead hedge, my robin's just popped along to say hello. Can you see him just there? Hello. See if I can zoom into him. He's just, there he is. Just come to say hello. He'll probably come down to the shed and I can feed him. Just looking at the time on this, so it's getting a bit long. Right, so there's my catch up. We're in the wilderness now, and hopefully now all the work's finished on the house, I can video more often. I'll try and video some of the activity that's going on with the bees in the garden and the birds. So with the lovely robin there to say goodbye. Yeah, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the catch up, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.